All right, we're making some pretty exciting updates here to our trailer, and that is we're adding a complete solar power system. So we're gonna have 6 solar panels up on top, and then I have an inverter, I think it's a 3,000 watt inverter here, along with the 48 volt battery. So I worked like crazy on Saturday, got quite a bit of work done. That is until I fell from up there all the way down to my driveway right there. So you can't see it. Maybe I'll show you a little bit, but completely ruined my ladder, but scraped up, and I don't know if I tore any of my calf muscles or if it's just badly bruised. I'm not sure. Bruised up over here. I've got some scrapes on my elbow and that. So anyway, I will provide some updates. I'm just going to have to delay that until I can get back on my feet, using the crutches right now to get around. So I've got an appointment this afternoon. Hopefully the doc can give me some good news, and the good news at this point is going to be that they're just badly bruised and not torn muscles. So I don't know how long it would take to recover. My guess is going to be a little bit longer than a couple of days. But anyway, so I'll provide some updates as I can. Okay, so great news from the doc. They did an ultrasound and found that I have some tearing in my calf muscles, but nothing major. So a little bit of physical therapy and some time. When I moved the trailer from our field here to the driveway to finish up those modifications, the lights up above stopped working, and I'm having troubles with my electrical outlets, mostly on the driver's side. So I tested, I used my multimeter, I ran every test that I knew and could learn on YouTube University, and nothing, absolutely nothing makes sense to me. So I've decided, at least for starters, I've got to tear off half of the ceiling panels off to find out where some disconnect is on the driver's side. I have to tear out that paneling and try and trace back where the problem is. I'll probably actually end up just running new wire. The pros and cons of using some really good double-sided tape. And I think I just put these up just a couple of weeks ago. Had no idea then that I'd be taking them right back off. Okay, I know part of my problem lies between this outlet and that outlet. There must be something between here and there causing some sort of a short. I'm not sure yet what the problem is with the lights, especially these in back. So we'll keep the destruction going. Boy, this is just so much fun. Take all of this apart that I worked so hard to put up. Okay, so I have all of these now tied off using the lock nut. Keeping fingers crossed that the light actually works. All right, moment of truth. Let's flip the switch and see if it works. Oh, dang it. All right, back to the drawing board. All right, got it all fixed. Turns out that it was the old electrical boxes that came with the other can lights or puck lights. Now, what do I do with the walls? All right, so we have most everything out of here. I'm gonna add in another outlet. I think our replacement fridge or whatever will be right here. So I'm gonna drop one in. But here's what it looks like. Still have this side to rip out. We're going to put in shiplap instead, so stay tuned. All right, with the electrical fixed on this driver's side of the trailer, I've got the shiplap up. Now, of course, there's clearly still tons to do, but making some progress here. Okay, with the driver's side done, well, it's not done, right? But with the shiplap up, still lots left to do for the finishing work. But now the next side is the passenger side. I'll rip all of this out as well. The outlets seem to be working fine, so I have no plans to fix any of the electrical on this side. So rip and replace, put the ceiling back in, and then tackle the front. Still not sure what I'm going to do with the front, but I think we're going to upgrade to a upright refrigerator and freezer combination. So anyway, stay tuned for that. You know, if you've ever done any work with trailers, oftentimes they'll come with these 8-point screws, and I haven't been able to find any 8-point bits. So if you're having that trouble as well, just know that you can use these 4-point instead. So that seems to work just fine, and these 4 points are easily accessible at pretty much any box store. One of the things that I did not insulate first go around was back in here. Now, I don't suspect there's a lot of heat or cold that comes in through there, but this time I'm going to put some insulation down in there, as well as some of that spray foam down towards the very bottom. With these panels off, now of course I have to go back to my home away from home, or maybe it's my home away from home. I'm not sure. Anyway, Lowe's is closer to me, so I go to Lowe's for pretty much everything. So I got to go back to Lowe's to pick up more furring strips, because of course I did not pick up enough the first time. I basically used double. Well, I did. I used double amount that I was planning on. In retrospect, I'm glad I did. I think it's going to make that wall stronger, just because I have more furring strips, more support. So back to Lowe's. All right, I'm clearly not the best at recording as I go, but I have most of the walls done. I've checked the electrical for the lights. The lights work both front and the back. The outlets work as well. So I need to finish putting up the shiplap just above this window here, and then above the door. Oh, and then from there, I need to dive into what I'm going to do here for the countertop. All right, now that I have all the walls up, it's time to reinstall all of the ceiling panels. All right, hopefully this fits like a glove. Well, great start to the day. It's dark 30, and I already get to go to Lowe's for the first run of the day, probably the first of, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 20 runs for the day. I'm looking for a crimper tool and this type of an end. I've never used this type of stuff before, so I'm not sure where it would be or even exactly how to use it. I think I got what I needed. Isn't it interesting how it's so hit and miss when you come to these big box retailers, right? Sometimes you get really good help, and most of the time you don't get any help at all. And sometimes you get some help, but it's not that great help. Anyway, today was maybe the exception. I guess a really great help. Second trip of the morning. The heat shrink was just way too small. Now that we have all the electrical fixed and finished, the next thing then is to work on the cabinet. I've cut the 2 sides. Now we're going to cut one other side, because we'll have a bank of probably shelves that go here. Anyway, so that's where we're at so far. Hoping of course that it turns out at least moderately nice. I don't know. I am not a carpenter. I think I've admitted that before. I'm not a carpenter. You couldn't even call me a hack, quite frankly. But anyway, I called my brother and kind of ran this by him, and he's much better at all these things than I am. He seemed to think that it was okay, but he's on vacation in Hawaii, so he probably just said that to get rid of me. Anyway, no, I think this is going to work. Fingers crossed. All right, with all the pocket holes, let's go try and put some things together, should we? Okay, for tonight I'll call that good. Got those in the back, so tomorrow or the next day, whatever, I'll come in and start working on a platform. Gonna put about a 6 or 8 inch platform at the bottom so that refrigerator is lifted up a little bit higher, and then probably put some sort of a drawer down at the bottom. So that's it for today. I quite frankly don't remember the last place that I left off in the recording. I'm not really very good at making sure that I'm recording every step of the way, but here we are. We've got our cabinet, we've got our pull-out drawers all in. The refrigerator came. I'm hoping that the opening here for the refrigerator is actually wide enough. Anyway, it should be. Should be. The next thing that we're going to do, we'll put a door on the front. Here's the big bummer. I've got to go through and either tear each of these out yet again, or wherever the puck lights are, cut those slats out and then replace them. Anyway, I'm not sure what I'm going to do there, so some disappointment along the way, but with any luck, within the next few days, this trailer will be back and ready to roll, and we still have another month or so before it's warm enough for us to start getting back on the road. So anyway, that's the update for today. I forgot to turn the camera on and show you as we were putting in the refrigerator, but this is it. Our Rec Pro 12 volt, I think it's like 10 cubic feet, whatever, freezer refrigerator combination. So it's in. Rec Pro recommended at least 1 inch on all sides, so I've got that, including the top. Anyway, so I've started tearing off now each of the planks, roof, ceiling, whatever. Anyway, found out that indeed it is these boxes, something inside here is not working. So yeah, so the bad news is I've got to replace, or rather rip out, all of these, replacing the these electrical boxes in each one, and then putting all the planks back. But this is the 3rd time that I've done it, so I kind of know what I'm doing. Anyway, it's just time consuming, but the good thing is I can see light at the end of the tunnel, so we're almost done. I mean, almost, relatively speaking, but we're almost done. So anyway, that's it. I'll keep working on this and try to keep you updated as we go. Is it just me, or does that seem just not right to have those down after I put them up twice? Ugh. All right, now with all of the new boxes put in and the light switches now reconnected, time to power up and see what happens. Moment of truth. Back lights. Yes. Front lights. Oh yeah. What did they say? Something like 3rd time's the charm? Okay, making some good progress on getting this finished up. Probably, gosh, 75% of the way done. Just have that to do, and then of course, a few other odds and ends, but this project is coming along nicely. You know, I'm thinking before I get too far into this, I probably better check and make sure that the lights work. So here goes everything. All right, back lights. Yes. Okay, that's a really good sign. Let's try here. Excellent. All right. I got 6 for 6. All right, here's video proof that my lights actually work. We'll see what happens later today and tomorrow and the subsequent days. All right, after many, many months and a couple of injuries, I'm done. I'm actually finished with the trailer. Now, it's far from perfect, as I'd mentioned before, or admitted before. I am not a carpenter. I'm not even a hack, but it's done. And the entire solar power system worked out wonderfully well. We didn't have any problems whatsoever. The lights worked, the outlets worked, everything worked as they should. Okay, so to wrap up this video, as you saw, we made a lot of great upgrades to that trailer.
You did, actually.
Well, you helped. Anyway, but the biggest thing is that solar power system. So if you're thinking about doing something similar to your trailer, I would say do it. Absolutely do it. I contacted a company out of Texas. It's called Signature Solar. And by the way, this is not sponsored by them. They do not know about us or anything. So that we bought all of this with our own money, etc. But the reason why I'm bragging on them, quite frankly, is because all I needed to do is provide them the dimensions of the trailer and some of the things that we use. So for example, like a mini split for the AC and the heat, etc. So I told them what it is that we needed to power up. And again, the dimensions. They went through and designed everything. They told me exactly where to put the panels on the top, the inverter, the battery, everything. So it was a great experience at the very beginning, and then through the entire process, through even the tech support. So I had a lot of questions as I was going through and laying everything out and connecting, and they were phenomenal. It didn't cost me any extra in order to get that support. In fact, I was just on the phone with them yesterday asking another further clarifying question. So anyway, if you do need some sort of a design expert, I'd contact Signature Solar. Absolutely.
Yeah, and we did use our mini splints so much this summer, especially when it's the hottest part of the day.
Yeah.
It was so nice to go into our camper and it was nice and cool. And then we were able to extend our camping to the cooler months because we had the heater. Yeah. So it was so perfect, guys. So we're going to be able to camp so many more months out of the year now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I hope you enjoy the video and stay tuned for more adventures from Restless Empty Nesters.
Yeah.